Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulallahi wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'een. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu, my respected viewers. Inshallah ta'ala, in today's episode, we are going to look for a brief story behind the whole ritual pelting of Al-Jamarat. How Ibrahim A.S. rejected the temptations of Shaitan against the sacrifice of his own beloved son Ismail A.S. So, stay tuned till the end of this video to understand the whole scenario and reason behind the stoning Al-Jamarat ritual, and also the names of all three Jamarat and importance and the significance of this during the process of Islamic pilgrimage that is known as Hajj. So let's dive into it. The term stoning is also known as rajm in Arabic, and the process of stoning is called as Rami al-Jamarat in Arabic, also known as throwing small stones, or in common we can say stoning of the devil ritual in Islam in the city of Mina. Mina is also known as City of Tents, located just east to the holy city of Mecca. Well, this ritual is an act of symbolically pelting or stoning the devil. It is one of the mandatory acts of the series of rituals carried out by pilgrims during the process of Hajj. The name of all three Jamarat starting from the east or from smallest one are: the first Jamarah or pillar is Jamarat al-Ula. It is the smallest Jamarah, also known as al-Jamarah al-Sugra. The middle Jamarah or central pillar is known as al-Jamarah al-Wusta. And finally, the largest Jamarah or pillar is called as Al-Jamarah al-Kubra, or commonly known as Jamarah al-Aqabah or Jamarah of Aqabah. If you want to know more about the new layout design of the Jamarat area where stoning the devil ritual is performed in Mina, located east to Mecca, you can see the research paper published in Arabian Journal of Science and Engineering. Now let us discuss about the origin of the Jamarat. According to the Islamic tradition, where Ibrahim A.S. was commanded by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to sacrifice his son Ismail A.S., then Shaitan tempted him 3 times to disobey the Allah's command. So that here the first Jamarah or pillar represents Ibrahim A.S.'s temptation to disobey Allah, and the second Jamarah or pillar represents his wife Hajarah's temptation against the sacrifice of Ismail A.S., and finally the third pillar represents the temptation of Ismail A.S. himself and to avoid being sacrificed. When Ibrahim A.S., also known as Abraham, left Mina and brought down to Al-Aqabah, the devil appeared to him at a stone heap of the defile. Angel Jibril, also known as Gabriel, said to him, "Pelt him." So Ibrahim A.S. threw 7 stones at him, so that devil disappeared from him. Then again devil appeared to him at the middle stone heap. Angel Jibril said to Ibrahim A.S., "Pelt him." Then he pelted him with 7 stones again, so that Shaitan or devil disappeared from him once again. Then the devil appeared to him at the last stone heap. Angel Jibril said to him, "Pelt him." So he pelted him with 7 stones, so that after all the efforts made, finally the devil withdrew from tempting the Ibrahim A.S. So that here the Jamarat are those standing stones or rock pillars, now stone walls, believed to be the location of the original stoning. The first pillar or wall is the smallest in size, increasing in size until the third pillar, which is Jamarah al-Aqabah, going in order from east to west, representing the increasing effort made by Shaitan in tempting Ibrahim A.S. The Jamarat then serves as a symbol of Ibrahim A.S.'s rejection of Shaitan and his temptation. It is believed that performing the symbolic stoning of the Jamarah during the process of pilgrimage or Hajj is a way for Muslims to reenact the event and demonstrate pilgrims' own rejection of shaitan, and also known as pilgrims' commitment to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This ritual pelting of the pillars is one of the mandatory acts of the ritual Hajj. On Eid al-Adha, that is the 10th day of month of Dhul Hijjah, pilgrims must strike the biggest Jamarah or Jamarat al-Aqabah with 7 pebbles. After the stoning is completed on the day of Eid, every pilgrim must cut or shave their hair. In between, process of sacrificing an animal happens. On each of the following days, that is 11th and 12th of Dhul Hijjah, pilgrims must hit all 3 walls with 7 pebbles or stones each, going in order from east to west, that is toward the holy city of Mecca, or from smallest one to central and then the largest one, which is Jamarat al-Aqabah. Thus, at least 49 pebbles or stones, including 7 for first day and 21 plus 21 for second and third day of stoning, are needed for the ritual of stoning the devil. This is the minimum requirement, but pilgrim can take more in case if any stone misses. It is permissible for the stones to fall into the designated area of the pillars or wall, and there is no need to rethrow them if they land in the appropriate vicinity or place. Some pilgrims stay at Mina for an additional day. In that case, they must again stone each wall 7 times. The pebbles used in the stoning are traditionally gathered at Muzdalifah, a plain southeast of Mina, on the route of Arafat, on the night before the first throwing, but can also be collected from Mina. So that after discussing these things, it is very clear that the one and only reason of Ibrahim A.S. behind the decision of sacrificing his own son Ismail A.S. was Allah's command to him to sacrifice his most beloved thing for the sake of Allah, and his son Ismail was the most beloved to him. That's why Ibrahim A.S. decided to sacrifice his own beloved son for the sake of Allah. But in the end, Allah is the most gracious and most merciful. He saved Ismail A.S. from being sacrificed by looking at the Ibrahim A.S.'s commitment to him, and replaced Ismail A.S. with a lamb. Now, it is very clear that why sacrificing of animal process happens on the day of Eid al-Adha, which is the 10th of Dhul Hijjah, after pelting Jamarah al-Aqabah, or the largest Jamarah. Here, sacrificing not only means to sacrificing an animal, but also includes to sacrifice our negativities, our internal desires, and external temptations of shaitan, sacrificing any of the bad habit, sacrificing pride, sacrificing attitude, or any kind of negativity in life. We have to follow only Allah's command, which is already mentioned and prescribed in our Holy Quran, and live life according to the Sunnah of our beloved Prophet Muhammad, may Allah's peace and blessings be upon him. As we are following the legacy of Ibrahim A.S. to worship and to submit ourselves to one and only God, which is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Almighty. So that the significance of 3 stone pillars is that it represents the spot where the devil tried to tempt Abraham or Ibrahim A.S. not to sacrifice his son Ismail A.S. This ritual actually reenacts Abraham's pilgrimage to Mecca. Overall, in conclusion, the stoning of the Jamarat also represents the repudiation or rejection or denial of man's self, an-nafs. Al-amara literally can say the internal despot, and the action of casting aside one's low desire and wishes. As one Islamic theologian states, if one is to able to crush al-nafs al-amara during the stoning of Jamarat al-Aqabah, also known as Jamarat of Aqabah, has taken the next step in attaining closeness to Allah. And since between the servant and Allah there is no more than the distance of one step, if one has been able to take this step and make it past one's own low desire and wishes, then that which follows is the level of closeness to Allah. During those 2 or 3 days after Eid al-Adha in Mina, one must stone the 3 Jamarat, meaning that one must trample, that is, tread on and crush upon his internal despot, an-nafs al-amara, the external despot of the shaitan from the devil, that is Iblis, and those like him, and the shaitan from among the humans, the enemies of the humanity. I hope, inshallah, this information will help you a bit to understand this ritual of stoning the devil during the process of Hajj. In brief, Allah Azza wa Jal knows the best. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide us to straight path, help us to control our an-nafs, and help us to follow His command and to live a sacred life on this earth. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept all the ibadah and sacrifice from us and from you. Allahumma Ameen.